Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world. I'm Dan Marati along with
MJ in the house, otherwise known as that rocker Marty Jannetty.
wrestling fans, wrestling insiders. Party with Marty is next.
This is Mick Foley.
This is Harley Race.
This is Shelton Benjamin.
This is Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
This is the Monster Abyss.
And this is Daniel Bryan.
This is JBL, and you're watching the MWF.
Be there live.
Wrestling fans, welcome to Wrestling Insiders Party with Marty. I'm Dan Marati along with
MJ in the house, otherwise known as that rocker Marty Jannetty.
fans. We want your feedback. We know you love Tuesday nights with Tony at 9 o'clock. We have a lot of fun at your house, as we call it. Instead of WWF in your house, we go at your house with Tony on his front porch. It is a unique look for what we do. And the fans have been loving it. Now we have another great legend of WWE lore joining us in the studio. We just want to keep piling it on. Let's keep these great legends working. Forget about the garbage that's on TV a lot of the times nowadays. For fans that weren't around during the 80s and the 90s, they may love what's on TV right now. That's fine. But to those that perhaps enjoyed another era, they don't enjoy it as much. And unfortunately, I fall into that category. But I love these stories. I love the memories. I love reliving the great experiences, the great things I watched, the great things I lived, so that's why you're here.
You know what I think you said when you were saying all that, it took me back. I was thinking about it. I'd go from 86, I would say, 86 to 93 or 4. That was the best era.
Yeah.
I mean, you had the characters, you had the flamboyance, you had bigger-than-life people. It started changing when everything kind of changed, especially with WWF in particular. You know, when everybody started going down to WCW, who evidently, from what I heard, don't get mad at me, Bischoff, I'll just say what I heard. Probably everybody's heard it. But you had an open wallet to Ted Turner's money. It was an endless sea of money, so everybody was, taking. Plus, I think Vince was.
And it was big guaranteed money.
Yeah.
Big guaranteed money, and a much lighter workload.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. When I went there that one year, 98. I only worked the TVs. I don't think I did a single house show, and they had a pretty good guarantee.
A man that we've mentioned on these shows that is the master of the art of fellatio, he had a contract.
Fellatio?
Yeah. The service,
Oh, you're back on Lanny.
He got, Randy
you're
helped,
starting to concern me,
Randy
brother.
helped get him a deal. He was making $80,000 a year for, I think, 4 or 5 years, and he worked one time.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, you can't bitch about it. Although, like in my case, I just left WWE. Actually, I went to Vince when we were doing the New Rockers. I wonder if I can tell this story real quick.
Sure, even though we're out of the timeline, that's fine.
No, let's stay on that.
All right, well, you know what, we'll save that for 96 then. How about that?
At the end of the New Rockers.
We talked about Macho Man. He was on top of those house shows you were working. What about Million Dollar Man Ted DiBiase? I'd say 87, 88 was probably his peak for that gimmick, even though he had a great career in WWF.
Yeah.
What was an 88 DiBiase like when you were coming in?
Oh, well, I knew him, first big name guy I ever wrestled when I was in All-Star Wrestling, back where it was Central States. Kansas City, Ted DiBiase was a big name. And he came through. And I'm 4 months in the business at that time. And DiBiase come in and they said, well, you're wrestling him. He was Mid-South. We didn't get that TV there. So I've heard of him and I'd seen him in the magazine. So to me, that's a big star. So I was like nervous as hell. We had about a 20-minute match. I felt great about it. Ted talked about it so much. He goes, that guy's going places. This is about, yeah, he told it on the thing. And Ted's always a good guy, always a good guy.
We've had him right here, another gentleman in this fine institution. I like Ted an awful lot.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's always been a good guy. He started a good guy, and he's still a good guy. But that's 30 years. I made him when I started in 84. So
that long
36
ago,
years ago, he's still a great guy. A lot of guys change. You know what Macho Man told me one time?
What?
He said, and I talked about Sean, and I said, Randy, man, since we're starting to hit popularity, it's kind of changing Sean. He's being kind of an arrogant, which it was, but Randy goes, no, that's not what changed him. The popularity didn't change him. It just made him comfortable comfortable to be itself. And again, I'm like, you know what? That is correct.
You know, I never met the man, but those are some, again, another great words of wisdom that he gave to you. Yeah.
I mean, because you think about it, once you're on top, fuck, I can be me now.
You can be more relaxed, yeah. You don't have as much to worry about. And that's really interesting.
Yeah.
Did a lot of the guys maybe silently resent the fact that DiBiase got such first-class treatment compared to them, where they
Some of
really
them did.
wanted, the office wanted DiBiase to live the gimmick? You know, he was given cash,
He damn sure lived it too.
limos, first-class plane rides, which were very rare back then.
Yeah.
I mean, he was living the life.
Yeah, and when he'd go to the clubs, I mean, he would wear flashy clothes, which before the $1 Million Man, he dressed like the rest of us.
Mm-hmm.
But boy, he played the role.
And you know, Ted's come out with all the problems that he had with the substance abuse and cheating on his wife and such, but how could that not go to your head?
He told it.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
All right, then let me tell something.
Let's see, that's a good one about old Teddy.
Old Teddy got in and he started doing the religion thing. And, you know, I'm spiritual, you know, a very spiritual person. I'm just not crazy about religion because it's, you know, a man-made thing to me. Anyway, before we go off on that tangent, I was just saying it's just made to control the people. Come on, man. But anyway, Ted, you know, when he got into the ministry thing, what do you call it, $1 Million Ministry?
Something like that.
Yeah. But anyway, it was his ministry.
No, I think it was Heart of David. Was it? Oh, that's what it is now.
Oh, really?
Well, I'll tell you, yeah.
But whatever it was, I was happy, like, you know, because on the road, we were partying. You had to. When you're on the road 300 days a year, and I've told this before, you got to, it don't matter if you're tired and run down and doing like this. You have to go out in front of 10, 15, and 20,000 people and make them happy, make them entertained, make them feel like they got what they paid for. And sometimes, after 20 days on the road, you line it up. Okay, I'm ready. Let's go. What are we doing? First match, second match, what are we doing? And you do that shit so much to stay up for the tour that when you lay down at night, finally, whatever time, for me, 3 or 4 in the morning, for some of them, 2 o'clock when the clubs first closed. But you can't go to sleep because your eyes are all big and so you take a bunch of the pills.
Yep.
And up, down, that's rough on the heart. And some of the guys were taking steroids. I don't know which ones. Like
A lot of them.
Yeah.
Just about everybody.
And I injected Warlord. Oh, I won't tell that story. Warlord, one time, I got to go ahead and tell it, Terry. It was way long time ago. Terry was Warlord.
Yep.
You know, I say all the guys. I don't know. Most
Just
of
about
them.
everybody.
Most of them, yeah. I think even Fuji did it just for
Just for fun, yeah.
Yeah. What's they gonna do? Make your head grow? But Warlord said, "Marty, would you inject me?" You know, because he was so big he couldn't quite turn.
Couldn't even turn, yeah.
You know, so and Fuji used to do it for him. Fuji would give him a
he'd
shot.
poke him?
Yeah, and he wasn't there, so he asked me. Me and him were good friends. We still are. Miss him, man. He's a fun guy. But he takes the syringe. It's 3 cc. That's normal, and it's full. Where some of the guys put 1 cc. Some guys got it half full. When you see different, you see like some white, and then some oil base is separated. But all kinds of shit in the needles. His is full, the full 3 cc. I'm like, damn. And you know, Warlord is 6'4", 300 pounds, and no fat,
Yeah.
no fat, and strong as. One time, I know I'm skipping. I'll come right back to the needle. That didn't sound good, did it? Am I talking too much?
No.
Whatever. We was in the gym. The first thing you talk about when we first got there, you always find a gym. That's part of your day. That's part of your job. You got to get built up and look right. Got to look the part. And Warlord is over at the squat rack, and he's wearing a tank top, and he's sweating, so he looks even bigger. And he's got 3 plates, which is on each side, big 45s, with the bar that's 315 pounds. And so he goes over to the squat rack. He's got it on the squat rack. I come up behind him to spot him, say, "Hey, you want me to spot you, brother?" He goes, "Oh, I got it." He goes underneath, and I'm thinking he's going to squat, because that's 300 pounds. He's pressing it. Oh my gosh, damn, we don't belong here. Damn. But so he was strong as he was big. For you guys that work out, you know what 315, 3 plates, and he's just doing reps with it. Off the squat rack. He had to put it over in the squat rack. But anyway, the first needle, yeah. Well, you heard me say first, right?
Yeah, the first one.
First, but in the needle bin, he goes, there's a lot of scar tissue back there. He goes, I was like, he goes, you got to throw it hard. It's got to cut through. I throw it like, and it went in. They give him the shot, and he reaches and he hands me another syringe full, 3 cc's again. I'm like, I already started. I better finish. I don't want to piss him off. And the needle bent in. He goes, it's okay, squirt. It's in him, but it's bent. And he's like, just squirt, push it in. So I'm squeezing it into 3 cc. And he hands me a third one.
Really?
Yes, and I'm like, no. I am not
You gave
going
up
to,
at that point.
I'm not killing you, bro. No. He goes, Marty, I do this all the time. Fuck. 3, that's 9 cc's. Again, those guys that are familiar with, you know, working out and stuff, you know how much that is. That's insane. 9 cc's of stuff. No wonder he was doing 315 like that.
Well, I'll tell you, interesting story, but to circle back to Ted.
Yes. You know, Ted was doing the ministry, and
yeah.
I got happy about it because now he knows the road. That's what I was saying about the cocaine and the pills to go to sleep, and the girls, you know, the lifestyle. You know, he knew what it was like. So now I've got somebody, a comrade, a buddy, a brother, who I've got that in my own brother. My own brother's like that for me. Gino, he's my hero. But this is a guy who's done that life. You know, my brother is one of the smartest people I know, especially street smart. And I can always go to him. But he's never lived that life. You can't really give advice on something you
didn't experience.
Yeah. And so Ted, that would be Ted now. And I was so happy about that because, you know, like I was caught in the middle of the spirit versus religion, you know. He said, I wanted to talk to Ted about it. And we were in Philadelphia. We was at the hotel room. He comes in and Sid Vicious. Oh, I can't. Rewind what you heard. You didn't heard Sid Vicious. This is a long time ago, so don't worry about anything. But we were in the room, the 3 of us, and I accidentally had brought a couple girls, and just to, you know, party and shit. It wasn't like I was trying to hook everybody up. I wasn't a pimp. But Sid pulls out like a big old, for y'all at party, 8-ball and throws it down. Let's do it. And it's 3 guys and the 2 girls, and the 2 girls just did like one line. It's a pretty good bit. But when I was seeing Ted do it, I went, wait a minute. And he's got the ministry. I was going to talk to him about spirituality versus religion. I guess I'll do it over the cocaine. So I do a line and start talking to him about it. You know, because the cocaine will keep you up. You're awake, you're alert. Why do you say it like, how do you know?
What? Observation.
Okay. But anyway, so yeah, and then, man, we ran through that 8-ball. Wham, gone. And Ted, he says, Marty, do you know anybody? Like to get more?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. He goes, I got the money, let's get some more. It was when we bought another 8-ball. And me and Sid finally, because now it's like 3 or 4 in the morning. Girls are sitting over here naked waiting for us to come play with them or whatever. But we're just sitting there and then talking.
So
we'll look at me, y'all want any?
As we continue to make the cartoon of this, it's you, Ted DiBiase, and Sid doing coke with 2 naked women
sitting there
on the bedroom, in the bed in Philadelphia.
Yeah, and
all
waiting.
Right, well,
and they're just waiting, and we're like we didn't even know they were there almost. It would be like we turned and say, they don't want any? that was it. And they looked good, man. They were, you know, great bodies, and they're sitting there like, but they were wired up too, but they were kind of, we didn't tell them to take their clothes off.
Yeah, well, they were just trying to send a hint, I guess.
But yeah, but so we I almost went off on a
You
Vanna.
spoke religion?
I almost went off on a Vanna White story that I cannot
Vanna,
tell.
wait. What
no,
about Vanna White?
No, let's finish this.
Whoa! Vanna White?
Let's finish this. I can't get in trouble.
All right. Wheel of Fortune.
But
Spin the
yes.
wheel. Give it a spin.
Yeah, one time we was doing a personal appearance that it was like a car show, doing a signing. This is when we were doing Birmingham.
Okay.
But when Sean and I was doing that Fuller's thing, doing this autograph thing. She's one table next to us, and she had just come out with a book that said Vanna Speaks. So, you know, she was promoting her book. I don't know if she got more books, but that was the first one. And it was entitled, or titled, how you said it, entitled or titled?
Titled.
Titled Vanna Speaks. And but our line is pretty long. Mine and Sean's line is pretty long. And, you know, she's got a few, but she keeps looking like, because we were midnight rockers. You know, if actually they changed our night to there because they had to change the midnight. We were the midnight rockers and rollers.
Really?
Yes, that's
well,
what.
all right.
We had T-shirts that we had to wear. It said midnight rockers and rollers, and that's what they announced. Like, and the midnight rockers and rollers are rolling now. But yeah, so you know, she's looking like, who are these guys? Because we weren't known, and why does they got a line and I don't? She did have one, but I mean, but she finally came over and talked a little bit. For whatever reason, she thought Sean was arrogant. That's got to be a shocker, right?
Well, yeah.
But I won't say that later that night we kind of hung out, and you know, that party stuff.
You bought a vowel.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Yeah, and you know,
Real? No.
the same kind of thing. I've told the story, but not on camera before. So
Well, this is your platform, brother.
yeah, this is where I'm going to
Party
jail.
with Marty. This is your platform.
All night long, she kept on trying on different lingerie.
Really?
Yeah.
Now,
so,
was she posing for you, or
to ask, how do you like this one? How do you like? That's
Well, did you-
fine. Now
did
get
you-
over here and take it off.
did you unwrap her like a Christmas present? How did it go?
All right, we better. So it was 1988. So DiBiase, I told him. Yeah.
About Vanna?
Just no.
Oh.
I told him. I said that night. Again, now we're geeked up to the gills and naked girls. I'm like, hey, I don't
There's more
understand.
naked women at this point in
No,
Philadelphia. Just the two. Okay.
Just the two.
All
Yeah.
right.
And I think Sid had left, so it was down to me.
Sid
and-
had enough.
Yeah. And so
He didn't see a lot like that in Arkansas.
But I tried to bring up some religion thing during and naked women, and I'm sitting here saying, I don't understand though if religion wants this, and like I don't understand like the Bible. I mean, you're saying Adam and Eve, a snake come around and talk to them. A fucking snake talked.
Yeah.
Golf balls again. And, you know, stuff like that. And the whale just swallowed the Jonah guy or something, or whoever it was, for 3 days and spit him out. What? Come on, man. How? Remember what we said earlier about if you tell one story, one little fib, one little lie in your book, you discredit everything?
Right.
Talking snakes. And if Adam and Eve started everything, right? Mm-hmm. How did they populate without incest?
Yeah.
You know? And that's
and
the
then
big
there's
thing
that.
in the Bible not to do, incest. So I don't know, but that's what I was trying to get out with him. And
Now,
you
what
know,
did a high Ted DiBiase? How did he respond to you?
well, he was like, well, you know, it might be an analogy type thing or symbolism. I'm like, I thought about that. I said, I don't even understand. The most popular verse in the world is what? John 3:16.
3:16, yeah.
Which, you know, God loved the world so much he gave his only begotten son so that we could be saved. That shit don't make no sense. I mean, we're taught as kids.
I don't know if it's something I would do, but you know, I'm not
he
as
gave
over
his
as
only.
God.
The reason Jesus got killed was because Jewish people were pissed that he, you know, was doing things. How is that he died for us? And now we could be forgiven before he died. And none of it makes sense. But everybody, you know, is taught that. You grow up with it, so it's brainwashed into your head.
Yeah.
But and I asked him about it, and he goes, I don't know. I have to ask some of my higher-ups. And then he goes, Marty, he goes, really? He says, we don't need to talk about religion. We need to talk about money. And now I'm thinking, okay, I'm spiritually needing you. This is what you do. and you want to talk about business. When I'm asking you, hey, man, is it okay
You're
to
having a
just
real life conversation.
Yeah,
with them.
is it? Am I okay if I believe in a higher power and I don't want to say worship, but have well, I talk to a higher power. I talk to it, and I feel answers sometimes.
Good.
I've never heard anything in my head like you hear some people say, I heard the words. Nah, I ain't never heard shit, but I felt it. And
Does it bring you peace?
yeah, and
Good.
yeah, well, sometimes it lets me know the right thing or wrong thing where I'm not confused what's the best decision, and I can feel it.
Good.
And usually I meditate to get that kind of stuff. But Ted wanted to talk business, and he said, I can pay you $500 to do a show. So you remember they were doing wrestling matches for a while. I don't know if they still are. Wrestling.
And this is while you were still in WWF?
Yep. And when he had his ministry thing. He'd come back in, and I don't know if it was
this is like mid-90s type situation. He wasn't working at this
Probably,
point.
'cause
Okay, all right, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
This is much further down the road, but okay. So
But
he wanted you to work?
Yeah, well, he was just saying he wanted to talk business, and I'm pouring my soul out there because this is what he does for a living. He's the head man. Help me. I'll help you later. Let's talk money. I was like, yeah, dang. And then, I think a couple weeks later he called me and apologized. He goes, Marty, that was so wrong of me. I apologize. I slipped. I shouldn't have been doing that cocaine. I should have listened to what you were trying to ask me. I apologize. It'll never happen again. And and I don't know that he ever has partied anymore since then.
Yeah, he's a good man. I know that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're familiar with the recent issues the family has had when they got kind of exposed in that Mississippi several $1 million payout that went wrong. But hopefully that situation works itself out for the best.
I don't know nothing about it.
Hopefully our good friend Ted, the money, the several million that he was entrusted with to put to good use for the people of Mississippi went to good use, and his name will be cleared. That's all I can hope for.
I hope he ain't involved with Benny Hinn.
His son was directly involved with it, Ted indirectly. So hopefully Ted will come out on top in this one. I can only go by the person that I know.
Right.
And he's a good guy. He paid me one of the greatest compliments I've ever received in doing this now. We ran our first show back in 2001, almost 19 years. He gave me the greatest compliment I've ever received.
What did he say?
I went to give him the money at the end of the night. And I said, do you want to count it? And he goes, no. He goes, I know the kind of person you are. And for him to say that to me, that meant a lot.
And I feel that too, would you, man?
Good.
I told you I felt we was going to have
there's not one person, we talk about Bibles and religion and whatnot, there's not one person that could put their hand on a Bible that could say, I ever shorted them one penny in the entire time we've done this. We've made many errors along the way.
2 pennies.
But we've never, ever stiffed someone. And I think that's the way the business should run.
It should be. And
You make a commitment, you honor it. That's all.
I didn't ask you for a deposit. And that's usually a thing because I could feel it.
I don't mind doing that the first time with someone I don't know because you don't know them. But the second time, not so much.
Yeah, you
anyway.
now you know it, so yeah. But yeah,
The
man.
good thing about us is we're not fly by night. We're not going anywhere.
Yeah. And plus, I could feel you, through our conversation.
Well, good. I've had a great vibe since the beginning.
Yeah, same here.
And I'm glad we're doing it.
Yeah.
I don't know if Ted was glad with what he was doing, but we'll have to have him back to the studio and ask. Maybe we'll have to have Sid bring an 8-ball. I don't know. Maybe that's how we'll get the honest answers. And then he'll say, you want to talk money? I'll say, all right, what happened in Mississippi, Ted?
Anyway. speaking of that stuff, the 8-ball, I ain't done that. I've not touched that stuff in over a week.
A week?
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Oh, all right.
I was just playing. I don't know when. It's been a while.
That's not.
I'd probably die now.
The
My
midnight
heart would
rocking
explode.
anymore.
You know what's crazy?
What do you got?
All the wild stuff we used to do to pals. One time in Vegas, remember Showboat when we first went there? They had the handshake. They call it the handshake, like the dealers when they become fans. Hey, how you doing? And here's however much an 8-ball. A lot of times they had like a 3-gram vial. Again, the partiers, y'all know what I'm talking about. But they come do the handshake, which is how you doing, and they give you whatever give you, and they don't worry about you going to do it and then you're going to want more later. They just got so much. I got the scaredest I'd ever been, and this one dude that used to do that. Me and Sean and Kurt Hennig.
So this is Vegas you're talking?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he would always greet us at the airport. He'd be waiting on us. And how you doing, guys? Each one of us got a little goodies. One time he didn't do it. He's sitting there with me and Sean. I got y'all a room. I got y'all a special room at the Showboat. So, I mean, because the Showboat gave us, I mean, that was part of the deal, us wrestling there.
Yeah.
And so we're like, okay, now don't make it weird kind of thing. Like, what do you mean you got us a room?
Yeah.
You know what we're thinking, like, no, man, Pat Patterson, I don't do that. But anyway, I love you, Pat. Miss you too, man. But anyway, he took us to the room, and we're thinking, well, you know, rooms are free anyway, so I mean, but that was, I guess, nice. He said, I got a surprise for you. We're thinking, girls, naked girls. In the room, when you'll see it. And we open the door and go in, and it's a big ass M and a big ass S for Marty and for Sean.
All in cocaine?
Yes, we had to snort. That was our shit.
Oh my God! How big was the M?
Oh, it was big, man. I tried to get as much as I could, and it
You needed several snorts.
Yeah, it looked like an N after I got one line, and now it's an N there. It took a few hours, but that guy.
You got it down though.
Yeah. Well, it took a couple hours, but he took me to his house once. And again, I'm like, why? Why are you getting me away from things? But he was like this, and we were cutting up, partying, and drinking, and we had that day, you know, but it fly us in early, so we had one day to do whatever we want.
Was that a mistake for the AWA to fly you in too early?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it was a mistake.
I think it shortened some lives.
Yeah, they shouldn't put us in Vegas. I will come back to what you just said. Shortens the lives about because I never finished. You know, because I got ADD, ADHD, and OCD.
Go with it, brother.
But
if you feel it, say it.
Okay. Wonder how the Falcons are going to do this year.
Well, all right. There you go. All you NFL aficionados out there, I don't know. Do the Falcons look good this year?
Yeah, I think they're going to do good. I can't wait to see what Tampa Bay.
You don't know who's going to bow out of the season. That's what's going nuts.
Well, Tom Brady and Gronk aren't going to, so that's going to be fun to watch.
I don't know, though. Do you think their time has come and gone?
Nah.
You think Brady's still got a little left?
1 year left.
I hate that he went out on such a sour note because he got a lot of heat from the expert, the smart mark, so to speak, to football, and they were treating him like he was a jobber. Yeah, he was Tom Brady, and he didn't have a great offensive system to work with last year.
No, he had no weapons.
As long as he doesn't beat the Patriots, I wish him great luck. I hope Cam Newton has vengeance in his heart.
That's going to be good to see, but one of y'all's
baby.
Receivers opted out.
That's what I mean. It could be.
And one of the linemen, good guy that's on the line, he opted out.
By the time we tape, I think the cutoff is this coming Monday, where they can say they're in or they're out. I'm not 100% sure. Something like that, yeah. So,
I'm hoping for college football, man, because that's my favorite.
I don't even know about that.
I know. Well, one guy gets sick and the whole damn team's got.
Like we were talking about the baseball earlier.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough to contain. I think the NBA. I don't know as much about the NHL, but I think the NBA is doing it right. Enclose these people in one specific area. Try and keep it as clean as humanly possible. These are younger people. They're athletes. I think if you can keep your distance until you have the games, I think you have a much better chance of success than these people just flying and going and rolling all over the country at any time. But that's just one man's opinion.
And it's yours.
And it's mine.
It's a good one. But I'll say this, that's two different types of personalities. You can bubble up the damn football players, but you're talking about guys who their passion and their nothing against basketball players, but that's a different kind of person or animal that tackles each other, knocks your heads off. You got to worry about CTE. You got to worry about if you're going to live. Those kind of guys are hard to put in a bubble and say, "Hey, behave."
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. But as far as how the different leagues are trying to approach it, I think the NBA one is the best.
And
for the hockey, what I know, they have the 2 spots up in Canada. It sounds like they're kind of doing the same thing.
Really?
So I hope at least it'd be something to watch.
Yeah. I started watching bowling again. I got so bored. Yeah. I used to bowl, man. I was good when I was young.
Did you really?
Yeah. I had a high average for a 12-year-old. It was called Bantams. I had the 167 out of it. This was way back before they got the residue balls that grip the lanes and tear the pins up. I mean, this is when they had that hard rubber. And, man, you had to spin the shit out of it to get a little curve. But yeah, man, I was good at it. But then as I got in high school, I started doing other sports, football and wrestling, track. I started thinking like, Bowling? What the fuck am I doing bowling?
I used to bowl.
It's
Bowling
fun
alley-
though. It's fun.
I used to love to bowl.
And
Yeah.
if you get good at it, like I was good at it.
If I hit triple digits, I was happy. We have candle pin here, though. We don't have the big ones.
Got what?
Candle pin.
Oh, like duck pins?
No, it's the ball is about 4 pounds, and it's just about.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm talking about a bowling ball.
Yeah.
Not Lanny's.
Yeah,
all
well,
right.
they used to call it, or they have what they call duck pins. Man, you couldn't get a damn strike because it's a little ball, and the pins, like the regular, it's going to go, even if you hit like where you would for regular bowling, hitting right in the pocket, it goes and knocks down 4 or 5 pins, and you got silly
So I'm
shit.
not familiar with it.
Yeah, I mean, they probably don't have it no more. That's why, because if you did the other bowling, it's like, what the fucking. First of all, what the fuck am I doing bowling? Now you got me duck pin bowling.
Well, fans, tonight, did you think we'd be talking about bowling here on Wrestling Insider's Party with Marty? You never know what's going to happen. Poor Ted DiBiase. We hope things look good on his end. Is the summer of '88 exploded? The Rockers were there. It was a rare time that happened very few occasions in WWF. Usually after WrestleMania, you'd see a decline. When they put the belt on Macho Man in 1988, the business actually started to go up a bit across the ABC tours.
And you know what else they did around that time? Made sure, because like you said, the business, like it's usually at WrestleMania would be in April.
Yeah.
Up until June, you're going to have a
dip. Yep.
And even then, June is a slow climb back. So that's why right after WrestleMania, they started implementing foreign tours all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, because, man, they didn't care about WrestleMania was yesterday. We got American wrestling coming over. We got WWF coming over in all these different countries.
Up until just a few years ago, those tours were such guaranteed big money. I don't know if I ever told you, but I worked with Ed Cohen for a little bit in WWF, and he would explain to me the different logistics and the different breakdowns about how all the live event system would work back then, because I did stuff with him in 2000 and 2001. The 80s stuff and the early 90s stuff, when they had all those different tours, how they approached it was very, very different than post-Attitude Era. So it's such a fascinating time to me because I wasn't around for it other than, enjoying it as a kid.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you had 3 different tours where you had stacked lineups of guys where you could make decent money. They would draw in very, very well.
They had, even in the States, they had what we called it, the A team, B team, C team.
And even D sometimes.
Yeah.
Not all the time, but they were D teams some weekends.
And the way they did it, too, was...
Everybody was working. Everybody was making money.
Every house was filled up. They put Hogan was the main event in the big arena, like the Spectrum, back then the Spectrum, Rosemont Horizon back then. I don't know if it's even still up in Chicago. Madison Square Garden, Boston Garden, all the bigger arenas. The main event was going to be Hogan was the draw.
And he wasn't even the champion.
No.
As 1988 came to an end, you had Hogan for one town.
Yep.
You had Macho Man defending the world title in another town.
That was the B team.
Warrior as Intercontinental Champion.
C team, yes.
C team. I mean,
And the buildings, each one, the A team was the big, that's big money. Because then they're still paying us by the house.
Yeah.
It wasn't a
sure,
flat
no
thing.
guarantee, right.
And it would trickle down. If you went from the big arenas, the B team was in the mid-size. It's still going to be sold out. It's still going to be 10,000 people.
Yeah.
And then the C team would be in sometimes high school gyms or college the gymnasiums. We got to see a lot of colleges like that. For me,
some friends, I'm sure.
A lot of college girls, and I was still young.
You were
then.
still rocking, baby.
I was young back then. But and like you said, Warrior was C team. When you get your booking sheet, it'd be like this, what you got here.
Yeah.
We'll miss nothing
Take
up.
one, that's all.
But this
Take
is
'em all.
right here.
Yeah.
It's like your booking sheet.
Yeah.
And you're flipping through the pages because it shows you where you're at for the next 3 weeks. Because it was back then
And all
when we
the
did
plane tickets. Yeah.
Oh my God, the plane
The big
ticket
stack,
thing.
yeah.
You got when you're on the road, like say you're in Philadelphia, and somebody comes up and says, "Hey, where were you out yesterday?" You so damn burnt out because you did 50 shows in a row. It was like, well, I don't know. And it's honest. You'd have to think about it. Where the hell were we yesterday? And then you get to the airport. So like I said, in Philadelphia, you get up to the thing with your ticket, and they already had them all in a little packet. You just pull it out. The lady said, "Where are you going?" You just hand her the ticket. We don't even know. We'll just get on the plane.
We're going somewhere. Yeah.
And that's the way it was, man. But everybody would look. That's back when we were doing Challenge and Superstars.
Yeah.
And it was every third week.
Yeah.
I think one of them might have been live, and the next 2 were taped. or it got like that at one point. But anyway,
They did that with Raw towards the end. When they do multiple Raws in one night, one
Yeah.
would be live. Superstars
maybe that's
was
what it was.
syndicated.
Maybe that's what it was. But so you got your booking sheet, you're going through it because you're looking and seeing how much money you're going to make.
Yeah.
Because if you're hoping to be on
You're
the
on the
A team,
Hogan shows, yeah.
and if not A, at least the B.
Well.
If you're on the C, it don't matter because some guys were off. You know,
Right.
At least you're
Yep.
working. But this is when I found out how much partying one of my partners and I was doing. We're sitting there, Barry Dorso, Demolition, good guy,
One of
we're
my
good friends.
man that's been here, a great
Has he?
guy,
man.
Great guy. Love Barry.
Super. I'm sitting next to him. I met him when I first broke in
Oh, did you?
Mid-South.
When he was a Russian?
Yeah.
Yeah. Khrushchev.
Yeah. And rode with him, and so we were buddies for 30 years. But anyway, but not at that point. I'm in the dressing room, he's sitting there. Sean's sitting right here. We're going through the booking sheet. Let me use a prompt.
Sure, go ahead.
And they would have, each sheet had a day, and in one row is your A team, another row is your C. They'd be looking for your name. You're hoping like for the good thing, and hoping you're on there. You might get some time off. My partners, did I say Sean already?
No.
I didn't?
No, you did, but that's all right.
I did.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
But I had two different partners named Sean.
Waltman.
Yes.
There you go. All right.
So we don't know which
They
one
weren't
it was.
C teams in that era, though. That's for sure.
No, they
They
wasn't.
were lucky if they were B teams.
Stop, you killed me.
All
I'm in
right,
trouble.
all
You
right,
get
all
me
right,
in trouble again. I was only escape with that one.
All right.
No, I wasn't. So we're sitting there, one of my tag team partners, and he's going through his sheet. And we're looking at where we're at. Like, and this is an example. Chicago, oh, that'll be Julie and Laura. Okay.
So you're thinking rats? at this point.
Not rats, girls.
Women.
Women.
Women that hang around wrestling events.
Yeah.
All right, there
They
you
call
go.
them arena something.
Arena something.
Yeah.
Arena something or others.
It rhymes with Matt's. Looking and then like Boston, oh, that's Laura Reginini.
Annie.
I shouldn't have said her whole name. Lori. No, AEA
Annie.
we called her too.
What did you call her?
Ass eating Annie. AEA. Oh,
She had a code name?
AEA.
I didn't know she
AEA,
had a work
ass-eating
name?
Annie.
That educated, and then we were talking in the car last night about the sister Gina that looks something like Big Bird.
I know what you're talking about. It does look like
There were
Big
a lot
Bird.
of happy asses
Oh,
on the
big old
WWE
point,
tours
yeah.
when they came
I'm
through
sorry,
Boston.
Gina. Do what?
There were a lot of happy asses when they'd come through Boston. It'd be almost like a buffet at the Hilton.
You didn't have to use toilet paper that weekend.
It was like trick or treating, going room to room.
Greg Hammer would come walking by Valentine, and you could still hear the liquid, the saliva swishing as he walked by.
He got his discounted $39 room at the Hilton and his ass eaten, and he
This
still
is horrible.
and he
We're
still
sorry.
didn't.
Sorry y'all having to hear
He
this.
still didn't smile.
No, he can't smile. He said it hurts his face.
It took him 15 minutes to get warmed up, even with Annie.
Harley did that to me. Yeah, Harley did that to me when we were in Japan one time. Probably the first time I went there. I'm excited. We're in a legendary Ribera Steakhouse.
Oh, I'd love to get one of those coats.
Oh man, those were you have one of those.
It's my bucket list. Yeah.
And we're in there, and he gives all the new guys. We got one, and I'm happy. And, oh my God, the steaks, because in pretty much all other countries, the piece of meat you get is going to be that big around and not finger thick. I mean, this is everywhere, man. Snoop Dogg did a damn thing one time in Germany. And he was trying to order something with meat on it, like some meat, because they kept bringing them little damn things. And he was like, shit, I'll have it shipped here from America. But the Ribera Steakhouse, oh boy, you got one like this big and this thick. And he bring it on a sizzling hot skillet with some rice right there, the steam or whatever he did, rice.
You're going to drop that.
Yeah,
Be careful, brother.
I'm doing everything.
And you still have my sheets, by the way.
Oh yeah, but I'm gonna finish.
Oh, you're not done with them yet.
Yeah,
All right,
so
all right.
Harley though, so I wanted
right.
to take a picture, like you were talking about. Greg couldn't laugh, so I'm like, picture, Harley, let me get a picture, and he looks, and then selfies, but this was selfies before selfies. I'm trying
80s
to on a
Japanese
regular
selfies,
camera,
yeah.
like one of them
Kodaks,
Nikon, Kodak, and I'm trying to get in there, and I'm smiling, and we got Ribera thing in the back. And I looked at the picture, and I was like, Harley, that's it. And it wasn't just from that picture, but we're taking the picture, and he's just stone faced. I was like, why do you never smile? And I was almost scared to ask because that's kind of personal. He says, the last time I smiled It cost me $250,000. I'm like, what? He goes, my ex-wife.
Well, you know what? I can feel Holly's pain.
So we're going through and we're like, Laura Reginini, sorry, Laura. Okay, then you got Nashville. Oh, we had a big bird down there. She was like 6 foot tall. But
She was a good arena something or other.
Yeah. They went when you even like, oh, where's Denver? Oh, Denver, we're in Denver. That's Ann, not ass eating Ann. That's Ann. That's Georgia. Georgia's the one that I told you, Randy. The two-part question.
The
that's
two-part
Sabrina.
series,
And then you know, and then Barry goes, Jesus Christ. I mean, I was like, what? He goes, you know, we're all sitting here counting money. You guys are counting women. And we never thought about it. He goes, how many people do y'all think y'all are with the year? We looked at each other, whoever our tag partner was, and we're like, don't know, but what we just did must be a lot. So we, you know what we did? And you always got like a little black book to write your taxes on here.
Yep.
I'm
Thank
good
you.
with the prop now.
Thank you.
I don't think I mixed them up.
No, you did good.
You saw it?
I did. I
You
kept
was
an eye
watching
on
for
it.
that?
Yeah.
Flomax.
I was getting nervous, but that's all right.
Man, this is dirty pool to be telling this, but
right.
I'm not going to say no more names like Ann's and Sabrina's in Georgia. I'm not going to be saying any more of those names. Laura Reginini, especially the last name. She was a cool girl, man. She was a veterinarian up here in Boston. Me and Johnny Polo had a lot of fun with her. At the time, Raven was Johnny Polo.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a story you can't tell here.
Sure we can. Sure we can.
It's a
That's
sex
all right.
thing.
It's all right.
Okay.
It's just me and you.
Yeah, the camera.
I don't think they're recording now.
Look,
That's all right.
anything that Johnny, like with her, she didn't mind, you know, two guys. She was a good girl, real good.
Was she a 3-input woman?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
and we had Polaroids back then. Remember
Polaroid,
them?
yeah, the Polaroids on the road. All right.
Instant. You take the picture,
Now, Laurie may live
and you
on,
wait.
yeah.
And then, oh, Johnny, he was so funny. He was standing up there naked, like she's down there, that area, you know, doing. And they're taking the picture, and he's just looking at me, smiling like a porn star, pushing off the roof, pose while she's blowing away. And then I was sitting messing with her, but I was like, shit, I'm having too much fun to get serious and have sex right now. I want to play some more. And I accidentally took out a Jack Daniels bottle, and you know, she was like on her hands and knees. This is horrible. You know that,
That's
right?
all right.
No, it's not.
It's your observations and experiences in the world of professional wrestling.
It doesn't remember now, this is like 25 years ago.
This is in the mid-90s.
Yeah, this is, we don't
Johnny
do that
Polo,
now.
you're talking 93,
Yeah,
94.
Polo. Yeah.
Statutes of limitation are gone.
Yeah. But I had a Jack Daniels bottle. You know it's got that long neck. So, and Johnny's, now he's got the camera flicking the picture. I'm hearing click, click, click. He's taking pictures. And he starts, when I put the bottle up, you know, yeah. You get the idea of putting the bottle up there. He's taking pictures of it, and then he starts handing me shit.
Wait, he violated her with the bottle?
No, she didn't mind. It wouldn't violate it. If she wouldn't have liked it, if she wouldn't
the
have liked
bottle
it,
found a cavity.
yeah.
All right, the bottle found a cavity.
I
We'll
was
go with
happy,
that.
so happy that after it was empty, you know, the top was off, and he says, I don't know if this has ever happened to any of y'all at home, but when you take a bottle and you up in the girl,
yeah,
and the top is off, there's suction. Her earrings.
It was suction.
It got caught. We couldn't put. We had to bust the bottle to get it out of her, because she goes, oh, it was getting her earring. Was that me? I did that?
That's all right.
No,
The first bump you've taken in a while.
Yeah. See, I don't remember, but they yeah. Just Johnny was funny. He was handing me shit to stick in her. He handed me a candle.
A candle?
Yeah, he was just looking for anything to take a picture with, and she was cool with it.
She was like a Mr. Potato Head. What can we stick in this hole?
And you know what? You know what got the craziest is he was serious. He took the lampshade off a lamp and handed me that. He wanted me to stick
the lampshade? How would you have ever got it in?
No, he took the shade off. So
okay.
And the thing, this is a bulb. So he wanted me to stick the bulb, and it's still warm. I'm thinking, nah, man.
Heat her up a little bit, yeah.
And it's a damn light bulb. It might break. Now.
And this was up here in Boston?
Yes,
Yeah.
the Joe's girl, man. It's New England.
Was it in one of Annie's discounted rooms?
It was the Hojos.
It was the Hojos. Okay,
I shouldn't
that's
have told
down the
that.
street. That's all right. We drove by it last night. It's a Marriott now.
Yeah. But yeah.
No harm, no foul.
Hey, you know what's funny was we took one picture with the phone. I said, "Nah, man, give me the phone." That's again. Well, they still got cord phones in the hotels. That one I got. No, I don't. It was a hand free, or what do you call it? But I took the phone. She don't care. She's all smiling for the pictures and shit.
All right, well, so she was happy as this was going on.
Yeah, and I thought, well, give me that. We're gonna give her a collect call.
You were like E.T. phone home, baby.
Yeah. But it was kind of getting in there, and he took the picture where like first the ear part.
Now, how far were you going to go?
Well, I stopped there because there's a little clip on the cord. You can unclip it.
Yeah.
So I took that and then put the clip there so it looks like the whole, and he took another picture. It looks like the whole phone is up in there. But that's the only things you do when you're on the road and 300 days a year.
The things you got to do to pass the time.
Yeah, I mean, it gets boring sometimes. But you know, in reality, that's one thing the business never, for a guy like me, single, like if you're married, if I was seeing somebody committed to, wouldn't do all that stuff.
Only the single men could stick telephones into the arena, something or
You
others.
know, I'm not ratting out nobody, but I'm just saying the guys that impressed me the most on the road with their faithfulness to the family was Macho. He never messed around with Elizabeth. Owen Hart never messed around.
Tito, we talked about,
And those stood out the most.
That might have been it, but
yeah, I'm sitting there thinking, wait, give me one more big name. I don't think Barry Horowitz did anything, but nobody messed with him anyway.
Yeah.
It's hard to mess around when you get through with your match and go straight to your room.
Right, yeah.
And pat yourself on the back.
There you go. Well, all right, back to 1988.
Okay. Shit, what year was we at just now?
Around the time you debuted, another man that came in with a monster push right away was the Big Boss Man. Any memories you were working the loop with Boss Man at the same time? Any memories of him?
Yeah, Boss Man, got not close, but we became good friends. And that was a call that hurt, to get that call.
Yeah.
Ray and I, we were pretty good buddies. Him and Kurt were real good, so that, we were always together. But Boss Man, I remember one time we were sitting in a restaurant eating. He's glowing, and I'm like, "What's up, man? What's that?" What you say? He goes, "Marty, I gotta say it correctly, and we gotta be respectful because he's passed. So I'll see a nicer way to say." He didn't say it ugly, but it's just words. Like if he said, "I have never got this much pussy in my life," I wouldn't want to say it that way. So I'm gonna try to say it a different way. He said, "Girl, I've never got this many girls in my whole life. This wrestling is great."
Now, what did you think, though? Here's a guy that came in just about the same
nice
time
guy,
as you.
man. Super
Younger
nice.
guy. And he comes in right away, and he's put into a program almost immediately with Hogan on top, and those house show loops, as you were on when you were working the Brainbusters in '89, those house shows drew big money, Hogan and Boss Man. Did you look at what was happening with Boss Man and say, geez, this is what I want?
I
No,
was happy with what we were doing. I really liked the rocker thing. For me, it was just.
No, I don't mean as a single, but I mean as far as to how high you guys could shoot together as a duo.
We figured we'll get there. It's hard for a tag team to be the main event. Like, I don't mean go on last. I mean actually be the main event.
Be the main event. There's a big difference.
And it's hard, but I think the tag team is one of the most exciting matches because you got more action.
You got four ways to go.
Yeah. But we always said we're gonna break, raise the raise the bar, bust the glass ceiling, or
raise
some
the bar.
shit. We figured we'll get there. But I do know this. Remember Kevin Kelly, Nails?
Yeah.
Well, he came in as the convict. Remember, natural angle, Big Boss Man to him. And I knew Kevin Kelly real well.
Mr. Magnificent.
Let me give you,
Mr. Magnificent.
Yeah. He was in AWA when we was always wrestling Buddy Rose and Doug Summers forever, and finally got the belts from him. But one of them got hurt. I think it was either Buddy or Doug. And was
Well, there
out
were
for-
only 2 of them, so you have a 50-50
Yeah,
shot.
I got 50-50 chance. One of them was hurt. Kevin Kelly filled in. Magnificent Kevin Kelly and Pretty Boy Doug Summers. Kevin, I love him to death. Oh, man, you talk about stiff. Y'all in the wrestling world knows that. When he throws a punch, yeah, your head, you got no choice but to do that because it's bam. And in the first time we wrestled him, Sean was in the ring with Kevin. And Kevin tried to be light because everybody was saying, "You're killing me, man. You're killing me easy," especially his kicks. If you went your hands and knees, you hurry up and got up, so you didn't get a kick. But he threw a punch at Sean. And he tried to be light as he could, and I don't even know if it hit him. But I heard Sean, he said, "Lay it in." I'm like, oh, and he did, and Sean's eyes crossed, and he went to his knees. I was like, you told Kevin Kelly to lay it in? Damn. But so Nails, that guy. And Kevin, do you know what the word in the street is? There's some women. Oh, no, it ain't.
Women?
No, I thought it was long
Well,
hair.
Cecil the Lion's got long hair, yeah.
Yeah, what am I looking at? You know, man. we gotta go.
Gary, I
We
guess.
got to go to the club tonight. But what was I saying about Kevin Kelly? Oh, he went up to Vern Gagne when to get in the business. And Vern was, Jesus Christ, kid, everybody wants to get in. Go win the tough man contest and I'll get you trained. Because Kevin was known to be a brawler, a street brawler. Go get you. So Kevin went out and not only did he win the tough man contest, he won 2.
Really?
And then
He
came
really
back-
wanted to get in the business.
Yeah, and he was a badass. He was a bad boy. Still is, I'm sure. I love you. Hey, Kevin. But he came back to Vern. He goes, well, I'm ready. and Vern had no choice but
Well, he
train
gave him,
him.
yeah.
He won. He said, I won 2 of them. Do you want me to do anything else?
Well-
wait. Now let me finish this because
All right,
I
go ahead,
remember
I'm
it
ready.
was about Big Boss Man. So you're talking about a guy that badass. Kevin just soon kill you is argue with you. You just would get the shit over with. You're dead. Now, who won the conversation, the argument? But so he, with the Nails, came in. Man, he was so funny. He had that big ass orange jumpsuit, and he always walked like he had attitude, right? And walking like with the orange thing. He just looked like a murderer.
He looked badass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he stomped around. Boss Man and him had a match. Either they were the main event or semi-main.
Well, on the house show loops, they were doing, if not mains, they
Well,
were
one
doing
of
a lot
them
of
was a pay-per-view.
semi.
This was a pay-per-view.
They did Survivor Series 92 and a nightstick on a pole match.
Which one of them? I thought it was in the big city. Like, let me see. No, we was actually in Green Bay because I remember like yesterday. As far as that, we were in Green Bay, but it was
Wasn't that where
a pay. See, when we would do back then, we had the 4. We had Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, or SummerSlam, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series. All the other shit came later, like In Your House, and then the month-to-month shit. But Kevin had this match with Big Boss Man. And somehow they were, because you really don't like to talk about your pay. You're not supposed to. There's no written rule saying don't talk about your pay, but it's just something you kind of keep to yourself, how much you got paid.
And I think that's a mistake.
Yeah,
I think that's cost the boys.
Well, yeah, it cost Vince too, because on that day, because Kevin Kelly comes up to me. We're buddies now. He knows me well, and he trusts me more than anybody else. Marty, I'm going to go beat his ass. I'm like, who? He goes, Vince. I'm like, what are you talking about, Kevin? He goes, fucking Big Boss Man got paid. We were in the same match, and why did he get double the money? He's taking food off my fucking table. I think I'm going to go beat his ass. You think I should? I'm like, no, don't do that. No, Kevin, no, don't do that. He goes, well, I don't fucking feel like talking to him. Why didn't I get paid the same thing when I'm in the same match? He had a
Kamala
point.
ran into that same problem with Undertaker at that same period of time.
Probably. I mean, I know Warrior had a couple issues. I'll tell you if you want to know. But rest in peace too, Jim. But anyway, Kevin's like, yeah, you might be right. Right? And me and Sean are up at the ring because we always go up to the ring early. And this was a TV taping, and we're thinking of new moves and new shit we can do.
Well, you guys were just starting your singles feud at that point. That was late '92.
Was it?
Yeah,
Or we
December
were
of
split.
92.
Maybe that's what we were doing, going over our match then. But little Kevin goes stomping, that walk he had. And he goes in Green Bay, there's like only a couple dressing rooms, and if you got 60 guys,
Yeah, right.
but so many going to get in there. And Vince had one little smaller room. That was his, he always had where he conducted his business. And I see Kevin going right to that room. And there was a bunch of Minneapolis boys right around there. With Wayne Bloom, there was John Nord. I think Sergeant Slaughter was there. I don't know, he's a Minneapolis boy, just saying who was there. But what was the other Beverly? I love him to do.
Mike Enos?
Mike Enos. Mike was there. Mike, I love you, Mike. But all the Minneapolis boys, Kurt, and there was a lot of Minneapolis boys. But anyway, and he was a Minneapolis boy. Kevin Kelly. He kind of, when I see him push those guys, because what it was everybody on TV day, you line up to go see Vince.
Yeah, right.
But he pushes everybody aside, and it's his own boys. And I'm like, something ain't right. I got out in the ring, started walking back there, and I'm hearing yelling, and all the guys go rushing in, and I go, look, Kevin's got Vince by the throat, is squeezing him down. His face is looking like a grape. I mean, it's getting purple, and the guys are, yanking him, trying to yank him off. No, Kevin, no. And when Kevin let go, this was pretty smart on his part. He comes out, just that fucking walk. He accomplished what he wanted. He took Vince and he yoked him. And then he comes right out, goes to a payphone and calls the police. And he says, you heard about it?
Yep.
I was standing there. He says, we got an issue over here at what was it, Brown County Arena, Green Bay?
I don't remember.
I think it
the
is
older
Brown
one.
County
Yep.
Arena at that point. But he says, we got a problem here at Brown County Arena. Says, I just had to choke out my boss. And you can't hear what they're saying. It was, well, he has had a bad habit of fondling the guys, and he tried to fondle me. And the police
exactly
showed
how
up
I
and went
was
after
told.
Vince.
Yep.
Choked him out and then said that he got fondled
Tried to
by
diddle him.
That was Kevin.
That was, I tell you this, it was a waste, because I thought that guy was just a scary presentation. I thought
Who, Kevin?
just as they were setting up, I'm sorry, a big thing with him and Undertaker.
You got corona right
No,
here.
I don't have it. I had a little soda pop in my throat.
that's a good
Undertaker
idea.
and Nails were on the cover of the magazine,
I remember
setting
that.
up their feud when he wound up leaving because of Vince. So he left
you
a
can't
lot of money on the table.
You can't go choke out the boss.
He left a lot of money on the table.
But that's Kevin. There was another time we was wrestling in Lawrence, Kansas, and this was back in the All-Star Wrestling days, Central States. Kevin's in the ring, and you've seen him. He's a big boy, man.
Yeah.
He's 6'4", and strong as hell, muscled up. But he's a lanky muscle. He's not the bulky, short, bulky. So I mean, he can throw some fists fast. But he's in the ring, and the Kansas football team, about 15 of the guys are all there on one side. And Kevin's a bad guy, and he's posing, and he's punching guy. All these guys are like getting on to him, and he didn't like shit like that. But he's he looks over at him and goes, which one of you punks can take me, do you think? And everyone starts, I think he was a linebacker for the team. Everybody's like pointing at him, here's this guy right here. And he's like, oh shit, y'all dedicating me to, I guess I can do it. All right. Then he Kevin sits on the rope and pushes us, come on, buddy. And the guys are pushing that dude, and he's getting, and Kevin really let him stand there, kept that up until the guy got in the ring. And then he let go and walked towards the guy, and the guy double-legged him. And Kevin went to his ass. And I'm watching through the curtain. I'm thinking, fuck, hey, guys. So, we can't let our guys get beat up.
Sure.
Football. And Kevin, the guys, he double-legged, so he's down here. Kevin, the guy rolled over. He split him. You could see it. The scalp opened up. He split him, and the guy laid there, and they took him to the hospital. And that was their bad guy for the football team, the Kansas Jayhawks linebacker. And all he did was went and got stitched up and came back. We were like, Kevin's going to get sued. But he couldn't, because that guy came into the ring
He
and
came into
tackled
your
him.
work environment.
And tackled him. He came back and he wanted to make peace. He said, Kevin, please sign this. Autographed a picture of Kevin.
Really?
Yeah, he asked for an autographed picture. Everything's cool.
Nice enough, I guess. Well, you know what? We've been getting the time cues galore, but we're having so much fun talking about the old days.
Did we get anyone? We were supposed to go faster this time.
Well, I'm trying to get through the back of the first page.
Do a fast one. Let's do it quick.
All right, this one is now, you want to talk about that. We talked about that house show loop that came through Boston. Just a few days as you guys started on the house shows. You had Randy, DiBiase, Rude, Jake. One man that made a very, very short return at the time period you came in. He was groomed for a world title, not a run with the championship, but to feud with Randy on house shows. And it didn't last, it almost lasted just a little bit longer than your 1987 run after being
Wait, that only takes a...
After this,
okay, real quick. I know I'm bad at this.
Go ahead,
we had the record. We were in there one day and gone, right?
Yeah.
So the Midnight Rockers, and then Rockers, we held the record shortest time ever. I don't know if that's something you want to. Yeah.
All right.
Probably anywhere, but Chavo Guerrero, rest in peace, my brother, came in. His first day, we had a piss test, and he failed it. he broke our record. He made 10 minutes.
Well, and then there's that. But in 1987, this man was found in a kayfabe-breaking drug arrest in New Jersey. He was ousted from WWF supposedly for life, but it only lasted about a year and a half.
Duggan?
No, close. He was brought back for a chance to have a run with Randy on the house shows. He was who the heck was he working? Was it Scott Casey?
Oh,
no, Boss Man was with Scott Casey. Well, Sheiky Baby was on these loops.
Wait, let me time out real quick.
What do we got?
But stay right. You remember?
All right.
You remember Scott Casey? Remember Big Ron Bass?
Oh yeah.
Well, Scott Casey was a good friend of ours. Me and him and Sean were riding together, and he said we got to the show, TV taping, and he was all excited. And we're like, why are you so happy? He goes, I got to talk to Vince. Vince wants to talk to me. I think he's going, because Scott was a great worker. Scott Casey, great worker.
He just wouldn't fit in that environment.
Yeah, you know? I mean, and he was always opening match. Him and Brad Rangers, we used to joke on him, say their ring music was a national anthem. But
I like that. That's a good one.
Yeah, he was on first or second, so he thought he was getting his break, right?
Yeah.
Cowboy Scott Casey, he did the cowboy hat and boots. And then it was his whole gimmick forever, you know, and down in Texas where he was huge. Him and Andy Mansfield, man, they tore it up. But remember him?
Cool.
Eddie Mansfield, Continental Lover.
He was before my time, but I know all about
He's the one that was on that thing showing how wrestling was done.
That's where I know him from.
And John Stossel got that. Dave Schultz. But so, damn, I forgot what I was talking about. What was we saying? It was Scott Casey.
Scott Casey.
Scott's going to go to Vince. He's got a meeting. Vince wanted to see him. So, you know, he's excited. Like, we're thinking, okay, fine, you know, good for him. He's going to move up the ladder. That night when we left, he wasn't saying shit. And we always cut up, go grab a 6-pack each, you know, 12-pack or whatever. And you talk on the road. That's how you learn the business. That's
what's missing now.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say for the guys down. You got to remember, when you do a match every night of the week, especially when you was in the territory, that was the best because
you had to change it every week.
And you ride that night with somebody, and you get to discuss your match while it's fresh in your head, and you make all the adjustments. You learn. But so anyway, Scott wasn't saying a word, and I mean he was just stone faced. He was driving. And it was like, Scott, you all right? Not really. I was like, oh, okay. All right, just you want to talk about it? Not really. so we're like, okay. And it's like uncomfortable silence. Like Sean's sitting back there. He don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. So, you know, I don't know what the hell I said. I think I said something about, hey, did you see that one girl ringside that Rick Rude was supposed to kiss, but she'd already sucked somebody's dick, and they didn't want him kissing the girl that already sucked somebody's dick? Oh, sorry about the language. Y'all didn't, rewind that in your head. Y'all didn't hear that. But so Scott finally, you know, I was like, did you see that one girl? You know about the girl? I think she blew my partner, whoever my tag. Damn, I already told that one.
At the time.
Yeah.
Whoever that may have been in 1988.
I already just said he was in the back. Yeah. But I don't know that. I don't know who it was. We just know that she was, you know, because they would always grab somebody to pick out for Rick to, you know, they were already, you know, a plant in there.
Yeah.
Then, you know, they'd gotten her, but somebody got her in the back and got to a room. and it got around about her blowing somebody. And now Rick's got a, you know, she's coming in the ring. Remember how he did that kiss on him?
Yeah.
So they were like, switched it up real quick because they got around about her blowing somebody. They didn't, Rick would have kicked the shit out of somebody if he would end up kissing her. But so I brought that up to Scott. And, you know, he saw the girl that blew, you know, about what happened with the girl. So I'm saying it to him, and then he goes, fucking Vince calls me in there. I'm like, okay, here we go.
Now you're getting to the goods.
Yeah.
Yeah.